Hi guys, I'm Annie, and about a year ago, plus or minus a couple days, I graduated from high school. Woo! Well, kind of. See, the thing is, I had a little kerfuffle with my high school administration, and eventually skipped graduation and went to a Taylor Swift concert instead. So if you want to know the story, keep watching. I'm making this video for, one, to reflect on the good old memories of the good old days, and two, for whoever's watching this, your entertainment. Hope you enjoy. So if you don't know who I am, I'm Annie. Nice to meet you. And throughout high school, I plan to graduate a year early, except here's the thing. Because I plan to graduate early, I technically did not skip a grade. I never had a senior year and graduated with a diploma my junior year, my third year of high school. I was talking to my counselor like the way I've done ever since I was like, yo, I want to graduate early. And she was like, we don't know if you can walk at graduation. And I was like, excuse me? Like, I'm graduating. It would be nice to walk. And this was about my freshman year. And I was like, yo, bud, I mean, come on, like, right? But it was the end of the school year and there wasn't a lot of time to talk about it, so I wrapped up my studies that year, had a nice summer, and then came back around for sophomore year. So the next school year starts, right? This is, say, 2016. I walk into my counselor, I'm like, yo, got any word back? He's like, no. Anyway, time passes, whatever. I eventually go in to talk to the principal, and he's like, yeah, so the thing is, we can't let you walk. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll keep pushing for you to, let me walk at graduation. Like, how hard? Like, okay, how hard is it to let me walk at graduation? It's literally giving me a cap and gown and, like, letting me walk on stage. But apparently that was too much. I was pretty confident that they would eventually let me walk, so I went on my sophomore year. Basically, the offer that they had on the table was to come back and walk with my original class after attending a full year of college. How was that a reasonable rationale? I do not know. I really don't know. But that was the offer that they had, and I thought it was dumb, and I kept pushing for graduating with the seniors, which was the class of 2018. By the end of sophomore year, I had talked to the principal multiple times, and he was like, yeah, talk to the other principals. They literally had, okay, so like at a district meeting or whatever, they were like, they had all the principals sit down, and my principal was like, yo, I have this girl and she plans to graduate early, and the other principals, according to my principal, was like, yeah, she's not walking. And I was emailing my principal back and forth, and basically his argument, according to the other principals, like, this wasn't his fault, even though he had a contribution to it. Anyway, apparently, because I was not in the original senior class, therefore, this graduation, which was a class event, I would not be able to attend. My mood for the administration and my school district kind of dropped because I felt untreated. I felt like I was pouring a massive amount of energy into something I really cared about and not being rewarded for it properly and respectfully. I was putting in a lot of effort and a lot of work and a lot of time to make this happen for me and graduate a year early. So I just didn't understand why I could not be celebrated with the rest of my fellow classmates. And I was so confused because one of my friends had told me that the kids who were seniors my sophomore year, there were kids who weren't graduating. They failed high school, basically, and they were going to be allowed to walk at graduation with a cap and gown and a fake diploma, just to have that memory. And I couldn't do the same because I wasn't part of the original class. It seemed like a weird exception to me. I don't know about you guys, but it seems weird that kids who did not graduate high school were allowed to go to graduation. Come my junior year, so another summer rolls around, it's my last year of high school. I've taken accelerated classes, I am well on my way to graduating early. I'm like, well, they pretty much said I can't walk. But this is also around the same time that tour tickets for Taylor Swift's Reputation tour comes out. And I'd never been to a Taylor Swift concert. You can judge however you want, but for me personally, this woman has been the singer and role model I have looked up to since I was, like 7, 8 years old. And they basically had this thing through, I think, like Ticketmaster, that like if you gain enough like fan points, you get early access. So I had one of the early access like ticket times, so they were cheaper. So I was like, you know what? I could go to Chicago. It's like a major city, so the concert's probably gonna be pretty cool. And I'm a pretty grown person. I'm 16. I can do what I want. And basically bought the tickets with my own money that I earned from my job, and you know, got the tickets. They were pretty affordable. I told my mom afterwards that I got the tickets, and she was not happy about it. But I basically had this entire trip planned out to like ring off and my high school career with. It was great. It was all planned out, and a couple weeks or months roll around, and I realized that I had bought tickets that was on the same day as graduation. At this point, I was like, guess I'm going to a Taylor Swift concert. I mean, I'm not allowed to walk at graduation. So, and eventually, my mom was the one who was going to take me, so we were going to go on a road trip to Chicago at the beginning of June to see Taylor Swift. And get this, a month before, literally a month or so before graduation is supposed to happen, my principal calls me in, and he says, you know what, we talked about it, and we're letting you walk at graduation. No. I said I'd think about it, but no. Went to talk to my counselor and said, oh, we actually have a family trip to plan. After we established that my mom was going to be taking me to Chicago instead of me going by myself, I kind of intended for it to turn into a family trip. I thought it was going to be all of us, my entire family, going on a fun road trip, and in the middle of that, me being able to go to a Taylor Swift concert. I had expanded the trip to more than just a concert. I want to make that clear. I thought it was going to be like a big old end celebration to ending just the school year and starting summer with just the trip in general. Word got out somehow to my counselor and my principal that I was going to a concert, and it made it seem like I was choosing a superficial option over a big grand celebration that I was invited to, and basically I had paid for my ticket already. I wasn't gonna withdraw from this concert and this trip, so I said no. And it was kind of hard for a lot of people to process, mostly the adults involved, but people couldn't understand why, after all this time I was fighting to get to graduation, the ceremony, turned it down when I was offered it. And basically my rationale was I was practically begging to participate in this ceremony. I was rejected multiple times over the course of 3 years, and wasn't going to waste my time on people who felt like I shouldn't be rewarded for something that I did. I'd rather go on a fun road trip with my family. I eventually just went with my mom, but I'd rather go on this awesome trip at 16 and have a great time, see an artist I admired for my entire childhood, and go to my first giant concert. Or I could stay in my high school gym and be locked in there for a couple hours with a cohort that was not my original graduating class and listen to speeches by people I felt didn't respect me. And more of the story is I had a really good time on that road trip, and I chose what made me happy. My original graduating class, so the class is 2019, they just graduated, and after going through a full year of college, as I've just done, thinking about going back to that graduation in that institution and graduating with that class just seems unfitting, and I'm glad I didn't choose it. So more of the story is choose the people who support you and do what makes you happy. And although graduation was a really cool experience that they offered me, it was in the end kind of cliche and not that big of a deal. Skip things. That's kind of a bad moral, but like, look at things in the bigger picture and you'll probably get your answer. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, so if the frame is a little bit different, I'm sorry, I'm recording this after. But as an extra detail, I eventually did get some sort of a graduation. Not really, like I said, I did skip the ceremony. I put on my cap and gown and was given a fake diploma and took a picture with my principal, which was kind of weird now that I look back on it. It was kind of like a photo shoot of sorts. Yeah, we were just in the gym and we shook hands. If you're interested in finding out how I like graduated early, like more of the logistical sides of it, let me know. And yeah. So that's the story of why I skipped high school graduation to go to a concert and didn't regret it one bit. And so thanks for watching. I hope that was kind of interesting.